Hi, everybody. It's December 1st. We made it. And look, it's snowing. I hate it. But we knew this was coming anyway. I mean, it's Canada. It's winter time. The good weather only lasts for so long, right? So here I am in my replacement for a coat because my coat's in storage and we can't go get it. Poor planning, right? What are you gonna do? So November. I did manage to get through some things in November, but not a lot. It was nonfiction November, and it was novelization November, and it was Native American History Month, right? So, NNN. And so for novelization November, I went back to a book that I started during Garb August, Naked Heat, which is the second in the Nikki Heat series, which is a tie-in to the TV show Castle. Now, Naked Heat, it was okay. It was pretty entertaining. It reads a lot like one of the episodes of Castle. So if you're a fan of Castle and you like to read pretty quick moving books, yeah, go pick them up. They're all on Kindle Unlimited, or most of them are on Kindle Unlimited, and I think there's like 9 or 10 of them. But the sort of the case that's at the heart of it is it's always full of little twists and turns and lots of characters, and you get to see Nikki go through her all of her investigation, and then you get the back and forth between the Castle character, who is called Rook in the books. It gets really meta after a while, so if you're not a fan of the show, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But the premise of the show is that there's this writer, his name is Richard Castle, and he is somehow, through the magic of television, allowed to join up with the homicide department of the New York City Police Department, which never would happen in a million years. I mean, the liability alone is just I mean, I could just see it. Even though, sorry, my hair's sticking up. Even though he's got friends in the mayor's office that kind of, pull some strings to allow him to do this, they wouldn't allow him to keep showing up at cases. They just would not happen. But anyway, that little quibble aside, the series is pretty entertaining. So in this particular book is the murder victim that they start with is a gossip columnist by the name of Cassidy Town, who they find out through the course of their investigation was about to write an expose book, and the last chapter of the book is like this bombshell that tells what happened, and it implicates rock stars and baseball stars and everybody else, and then you've got the people running around trying to cover it up. So it's my main quibble with it is that it just seems to drag on and on and on. Like obviously the show is solved in 42 minutes, but or 44 minutes, whatever it is, without the commercials and the theme songs and everything. And the book just kind of keeps going and going. So that gets a little bit tiresome. But other than that, it is a pretty quick read, and the characters are quickly drawn, but if you're familiar with the TV show, you can immediately picture who they are based on the TV show. The other stuff that I read, I didn't finish, but I did make a good stab at. So nonfiction November, I started reading the biography of Shirley Jackson called A Rather Haunted Life, and I'm going to keep working away at that one because it's pretty interesting. She grew up in California in the San Francisco area, and her family was rich. Not quite Batman rich, but they were quite well-to-do because her mother's whole line were the architects who basically built homes for the robber barons in San Francisco. So there were these high-end, amazing houses. And this is one of the reasons that houses, like the Sundial and the Haunting of Hill House, kind of formed so much of the landscape of Shirley Jackson's imagination, which is really interesting. I look forward to reading more. She was very strange woman. Not in a bad way, but she was imaginative, so she had this really complicated inner life, and she kept diaries from the time that she was very young, and that's what a lot of these this biography is pulled from. So it's kind of interesting getting into her mind, because I mean, we're all familiar with certain of her stories, if not all of them, but sort of her take on family, because her mother was a very strange woman as well, makes it intriguing. And then the other book that I, again, started, but I'm just kind of working through, I have picked up Watership Down, but I find myself falling asleep, so I'll have to go back to it. And I also picked up Never Whistle at Night, which is a collection of horror by Indigenous authors. And I've read 5 or 6 stories out of that one, and there's some pretty disturbing stuff. Very well written, very entertaining. I'm gonna keep at it and hopefully give you a better review later. But Never Whistle at Night, definitely worth the price of admission. It's a really, really good short story, some pretty good gore, and yeah, and I guess that's pretty much all that I got through in November. And I hope you're reading lots of horror. Have a great day.